Organic Ayurvedic Cooking for Dosha Balance. Hello there. It is so wonderful to dive into this topic with you. Pull up a chair, maybe pour yourself a warm cup of ginger tea, and let's settle in for a long heart-to-heart exploration of what it truly means to cook with intention, rhythm, and nature. The concept of organic Ayurvedic cooking is much more than a diet. In our modern world, we often treat food like fuel for a machine, calories in, energy out. But Ayurveda, the ancient science of life from India, invites us to see food as a living vibration that communicates with our own internal biology. When we add the organic element, we are essentially ensuring that the communication between the earth and our bodies is clear, clean, and free of the noise of synthetic chemicals. To understand how to cook for your dosha, we first have to understand the canvas we are painting on. Ayurveda suggests that the entire universe is made of 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth. Since we are a part of the universe, we carry these elements within us in unique ratios. These ratios are our doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Think of your dosha as your energetic signature. Most of us are a combination of 2, but usually one is leading the dance. When we eat in a way that honors that signature, we feel vibrant. When we eat against it, we feel off, maybe bloated, irritable, sluggish. The Vata symphony, warming the wind. Let's start with Vata. If you are a Vata dominant person, you are likely the wind of your friend group. You are creative, quick thinking, light on your feet, and perhaps be a bit prone to anxiety or cold hands. Because Vata is composed of air and space, it is naturally cold, light, dry, and irregular. In the kitchen, cooking for Vata is all about grounding. Imagine a kite flying high in a storm. Your food needs to be the string that pulls that kite back to the safety of the earth. When you go organic for Vata, look for the heaviest, most nourishing gifts the soil has to offer. Root vegetables are your best friends. Think of a deep, orange, sweet potato or a golden beet. Right? These plants grow deep in the dark earth, soaking up minerals and stability. When you roast these with a generous amount of organic ghee, clarified butter, you are performing a small miracle of balance. Vata should generally avoid the raw trend. While a cold kale salad might be healthy in a laboratory sense, for a Vata it's like putting more wind into a windstorm. It causes gas and spaciness. Instead, think of mushy, warm, and oily. A classic Vata meal might be a big bowl of Kitchari, a traditional Ayurvedic stew of split mung beans and basmati rice. Cooked until it's soft and easy to digest, seasoned with warming spices like cumin, ginger, and a pinch of cinnamon. It feels like a warm hug for your insides. The organic mung beans provide clean protein without the heaviness of red meat, which can sometimes be too taxing for Vata's delicate digestion. The Vata spice cabinet spices are the intelligence of the meal. For Vata, we want spices that kindle the digestive fire, known as Agni, without burning it out. Fresh ginger is a superstar here. It's warming but not overly hot, like cayenne. It helps move the wind through the system so you don't feel bloated. The Pitta fire, cooling the flame. Next, we move to Pitta. If Vata is the wind, Pitta is the sun. Pittas are driven, intelligent, and passionate. They are the leaders and the doers, but because Pitta is made of fire and a little bit of water, they tend to run hot. When out of balance, a Pitta person might deal with inflammation, skin rashes, or a short fuse. Anger. Cooking for Pitta is an exercise in moderation and cooling. You want to avoid adding more fuel to their internal furnace. This means being careful with heating foods like chili peppers, garlic, and excessive salt. In an organic Pitta kitchen, color is your guide. Think of the cool greens of organic cilantro, the refreshing crunch of a cucumber, or the sweetness of a ripe summer peach. Organic produce is especially vital for Pitta because their systems are often very sensitive to heat in the form of toxins or pesticides, which can trigger that inflammatory response they are so prone to. While Vata needs everything cooked to a pulp, Pitta can actually handle some raw foods, especially in the heat of summer. A large salad of organic mixed greens with sprouts and a dressing made of sunflower oil and lime juice is perfect. One of the best fats for Pitta is organic coconut oil. Unlike ghee, which is slightly warming, coconut oil is distinctly cooling. If you're sautéing some summer squash or organic asparagus, use coconut oil to keep the thermal value of the meal down. The Pitta Spice Cabinet. Think sweet and bitter. Turmeric is the king here. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory that helps clean the blood. Fennel seeds are another Pitta favorite. They are incredibly cooling and aid digestion without increasing heat. Try chewing on a few organic fennel seeds after a meal. It's a traditional way to settle a fiery stomach. The Kapha herbs, they're energizing the stillness. Finally, we have Kapha. Kapha is made of earth and water. These are the rocks of our society. Stable, loyal, calm, and incredibly strong. However, because they are so grounded, they can sometimes become stuck. Out of balance Kapha manifests as lethargy, weight gain, or sinus congestion. If Vata is a kite and Pitta is a fire, Kapha is a cool, damp pond. Cooking for Kapha is all about movement, warmth, and lightness. A Kapha balancing diet is almost the opposite of a Vata balancing one. Where Vata needs oil and heavy grains, Kapha needs dry cooking methods and plenty of fiber. Think of roasting, grilling, or steaming rather than deep frying. Organic leafy greens are the Kapha's greatest ally. Bitter greens like arugula, dandelion greens, and kale help to scrape excess fat and mucus from the body. Because Kaphas have a slower metabolism, choosing organic is crucial to ensure they aren't taxing their liver with extra chemicals that could further slow things down. Grains for Kapha should be light. Instead of heavy wheat or white rice, go for organic quinoa, millet, or buckwheat. These are drying grains that won't leave you feeling heavy or sleepy after lunch. The Kapha Spice Cabinet. This is where you can turn up the volume. Kapha is the only dosha that truly thrives on hot spices. Black pepper, ginger, cayenne, and mustard seeds are all fantastic. They act like a broom, sweeping through the system and waking up the metabolism. Even a little organic honey, which is considered scraping in Ayurveda, can be used as a sweetener, as long as it's never heated. The heart of the kitchen, prana and mindfulness. We've talked about the what, but in Ayurvedic cooking, the how is just as important. There is a concept called prana, or life force energy. When you buy a bag of frozen, pre-cut, gray-cut vegetables that was processed 6 months ago, the prana is very low. But when you walk through a local organic farmer's market and pick up a bunch of carrots that still have the soil of your local earth on them, the prana is vibrating. As a cook, you are the medium through which this prana reaches your family. Ayurveda teaches that your state of mind while cooking actually seasons the food. If you are angry or rushed while chopping onions, that energy goes into the dish. This is why many Ayurvedic practitioners suggest taking a deep breath or saying a small prayer of gratitude before starting a meal. The sacred ritual of digestion. Ayurveda also emphasizes that how you eat is just as important as what you eat. You could be eating the most perfect organic dosha-aligned meal, but if you eat it while standing up, scrolling through stressful emails, or driving a car, your body won't be able to process it. We have a rest and digest nervous system for a reason. To truly honor your dosha, sit down, look at your food, acknowledge the colors and smells. Chew thoroughly. Digestion begins in the mouth with enzymes in your saliva. Eat to 75% capacity. Ayurveda suggests leaving a little room in the stomach for air, so the digestive juices can move and mix the food properly. Seasonal living, the greater rhythm. We are not just isolated islands, we are part of the changing seasons. Even if you are a Pitta person, you will feel more Vata in the autumn when the leaves are falling and the air gets dry. In winter, Vata season, focus on soups, stews, and healthy fats. In spring, Kapha season, focus on cleansing bitter greens and lighter portions to shed the wind check. Wain chin naner, kain che kitai, aisitiwai endirirje. In summer, Pitta season, focus on hydration, sweet fruits, and cooling herbs. By choosing organic local produce, you are naturally aligned with these seasons. Nature doesn't grow watermelons in the winter for a reason. Following the local organic harvest is the easiest way to stay in balance without needing a textbook. Bringing it all together. Organic Ayurvedic cooking isn't about perfection, it's about connection. It's about noticing how a spicy meal makes you feel the next morning, or how a warm bowl of oats settles your nerves on a windy day. It's an invitation to treat your kitchen as a pharmacy and your meals as a form of daily medicine. When you choose organic, you're respecting the earth's body as much as your own, creating a beautiful loop of health that sustains everyone. It might feel overwhelming at first to remember which spice goes with which dosha, but start simple. Pick one thing. Maybe this week you decide to switch to organic ghee and see if your digestion feels smoother. Or maybe you try adding a little fresh cilantro to your meals to see if it cools your temperament. Listen to your body. It is the ultimate authority on your dosha. Your inner healer already knows what it needs. Ayurveda just gives you the vocabulary to understand what it's saying. I hope this gives you a beautiful, broad perspective on how you can start weaving these ancient threads into your modern life. It really is a journey of flavor, fragrance, and profound self-care.